So I was halfway up the side of a big rock on an outward bound residential with my Rolls-Royce young apprenticeship cohort. I was panicking because of the height and what felt like my arms slipping. But the leader at the top gave me an ultimatum that has stuck with me ever since. You can either give up now and regret it, or you can push to the top and achieve it. In that moment I decided to push, and I realised then that I was a lot stronger than I thought. Since then, I'm continually driven by this desire to push my own boundaries, especially externally enforced ones. Articles about my Asperger's diagnosis told me I'd never have the people skills to lead a team or to act or present on stage, but I've consistently defied that, aiming to be a role model to other students with this disability. This drive has naturally led me to engineering, which is always trying to push the boundaries of the scientific rock. I was inspired by the focused Rolls-Royce engineers who were solving complex problems together, and by materials engineering's ability to create the seemingly impossible. Nickel turbines that operate beyond their melting point, titanium alloys that resist intense cycling forces over and over and over, and then beyond metals to the genius of nature's engineering, exploring spider silk that has a specific strength 10 times that of steel. I knew this was the field for me. It was around this time, attending a lead science lecture, that I was introduced to the story of a strong young woman who was receiving an updated prosthetic leg. The joy on her face as she could do something that I took for granted, such as just going up the stairs with normal biomechanics, was absolutely inspirational, and I realised then that I had to lead an engineering project to ensure that more of this positive, tangible human impact is put into the world. This desire has crystallised at university into plans to start a biotech company innovating optical prostheses. I'm excited by the thought that we can bring light to the visually impaired and support their valuable input into the global economy. And don't get me wrong, this is a challenging endeavour, but I believe engineering has a duty to do it. We'll analyse the mistakes of the companies before us who went bust and plunged their patients back into darkness, because this type of innovation is predicated on patient trust, that the device will be safe and that there'll be a duty of care to uphold support for it. Any project innovating in this field has a responsibility to keep that trust by having a patient-centric, not profit-centric approach. The chance to connect with the diversity of fellow aspiring young engineers in the RAE network who believe the same would be so fantastic to build powerful symbiotic relationships and a team that can make this vision a reality. My experiences creating theatre as part of a diverse ensemble at Derby Theatre will help with this. We worked with professional writers and other youth theatres from around the UK to create contemporary scripts from just scraps of ideas. The attitudes of playfulness, focus and non-judgment that were embedded into the culture of this group are the same as that of a successful engineering team, and I've brought this to multidisciplinary design projects at my university to great success. Plus, I have experience with the challenges of leading a business from running a successful e-commerce store. It's been a great practice to communicate with customers, understanding what makes them tick and how to provide them value effectively, because I learned that that's key to positive cash flow. The future of engineering relies on celebrating diverse talent to avoid collective blindness and to gain the unique perspectives that we need to solve the complex problems of today. There's also a moral imperative to break down systemic barriers to individual achievement, and to this aim, I mentor aspiring inner-city STEM students from these groups, as a peer who has faced similar barriers, to pay forward the support that I've been lucky enough to receive from role models in my own life. The RAE scholarships opportunities would be the perfect experiences for me to mould myself into a better role model, supported by the network of Royal Academy engineers. Through my YouTube channel dedicated to scaling my mentoring capabilities and engineering outreach to a global audience, I'll be supporting the next generation of STEM, and by extension Bionics, innovators who will contribute to the bright and talented workforce the world needs to create our sustainable future.